Taking the question at face value, Bonning narrowed his eyes to take a careful study. She had big brown eyes, but they weren't soft. She had a pretty, wide mouth, but it didn't smile. "Look like a cop," he decided. "Good answer. Don't try to hose me here, Boner. You and your business partner had a falling out. You got pissed off, and you terminated your professional and personal relationship by heaving his dumb ass out the window." She held up a hand before Bonning could deny again. "This is the way I see it. You got into, maybe, dissing each other over the profits, the methods, a woman. You both got hot, so maybe he comes at you. You've got to defend yourself, right?" "Man's got a right," Bonning agreed, nodding rapidly as the story sang to him. "But we didn't get into nothing. He just tried to fly." "Where'd you get the bloody lip, the black eye? How come your knuckles are ripped up?" Bonning stretched his lips into a toothy grin. "Bar fight." "When? Where?" "Who remembers?" "You'd better. And you know you'd better, Boner, after we run the tests on the blood we scraped from your knuckles and we find his blood mixed with yours. We get his DNA off your fat fingers, I'm going for premeditated, maximum lockup, life, no parole." His eyes blinked rapidly, as if his brain was processing new and baffling data. "Come on, Dallas. That's just bullshit. You ain't gonna convince nobody I walked in there thinking to kill old Chuckaroo. We were buds." Her eyes steady on his, Eve pulled out her communicator. "Last chance to help yourself. I call my aide, have her get the test results. I'm booking you on murder one." "Wasn't no murder." He wanted to believe she was bluffing. You couldn't read those eyes, he thought, wetting his lips. Couldn't read those cop's eyes. "It was an accident," he claimed, inspired. Eve only shook her head. "Yeah, we were busting a little and he tripped and went headlong out the window." "Now you're insulting me. A grown man doesn't trip out a window that's 3 feet off the floor." Eve flicked on her communicator. "Officer Peabody?" Within seconds, Peabody's round and sober face filled the communicator screen. "Yes, sir." "I need the blood test results on Bonning. Have them sent directly to Interview A and alert the PA that I have a murder in the first." "Now, hold on! Back up! Don't be going there!" Bonning ran the back of his hand over his mouth. He struggled a moment, telling himself she'd never get him on the big one. But Dallas had a rep for pinning fatter moths than he to the wall. "You had your chance, Boner. Peabody, he came at me, like you said. He came at me. He went crazy. I'll tell you how it went down. Straight shit. I want to make a statement." "Peabody, delay those orders. Inform the PA that Mr. Bonning is making a statement of straight shit." Peabody's lips never twitched. "Yes, sir." Eve slipped the communicator back in her pocket, then folded her hands on the edge of the table and smiled pleasantly. "Okay, Boner. Tell me how it went down." 50 minutes later, Eve strolled into her tiny office in New York's Cop Central. She did look like a cop. Not just the weapon harness slung over her shoulder, the worn boots and faded jeans. Cop was in her eyes that missed little. They were a dark whiskey color and rarely flinched. Her face was angular, sharp at the cheekbones, and set off by a surprisingly generous mouth and a shallow dent in the chin. She walked in a long-limbed, loose-gaited style. She was in no hurry. Pleased with herself, she raked her fingers through her short, casually cropped brown hair as she sat behind her desk. She would file her report, zing off copies to all necessary parties, then log out for the day. Outside, the streaked and narrow window behind her, the commuter air traffic was already in a snarl. The blast of Airbus horns and the endless snicking of traffic copter blades didn't bother her. It was, after all, one of the theme songs of New York. "Engage," she ordered, then hissed when her computer remained stubbornly blank. "Damn it, don't start this. Engage!" "Turn on, you bastard!" "You've got to feed it your personal pass number," Peabody said as she stepped inside. "I thought these were back on voice ID." "Were. Snafu'd. Supposed to be back up to speed by